This is INCRadio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesianicristo.
Ready? Focus. Lock in. Buckle down. From the Great Lakes to all corners of the globe, let your passions shine with purpose in your zone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone who's tuning into INCradio's Northern Midwest's broadcast of In Your Zone. It's the first day of November, and we're so glad to have you all with us in our broadcast today. Again, I am your host, Gabriel Romero, from the local congregation of Bloomingdale, Illinois, in the District of Great Lakes. And again, on In Your Zone, we're here to bring you more of our brethren in the District of Great Lakes and for them to talk about their passions, their hobbies, their interests, and to share that with all of you. So before we get into our discussion for today and find out who our special guest is, please make sure to drop your comments in our YouTube live chat, and we'll be sure to do our best to read them throughout our broadcast. And so without further ado, let's begin our first segment as a reminder for all of you to focus. All right, on today's broadcast, we have with us from the local congregation of Detroit, Michigan. We've had it's not Tony, by the way. I know everyone knows Tony's from Michigan, but different local congregation. We have for us, with us today, again, Brother Paul from local congregation of Detroit. Good afternoon over there in Detroit. Glad to have you with us on our broadcast today.
Good afternoon. Hello, everyone.
Hi. And so, as we can see down below on our overlay, you have become known, I guess, and not only to those who you know, but as we've continued to talk more, you are known for your hobby of collecting very many items. And your collection is not just limited to one thing, from what I understand. But in our 30-minute broadcast, I don't think we're going to have time to get into detail of everything you've collected. So, but let's go ahead and start at the very beginning, if possible. How did your journey on collecting items begin? And is there any specific thing that made you want to get into collecting?
I started this collecting, and let's just call it die-cast cars,
Okay.
About 1997, 98. So it's been quite a while. And at the time, I was in a store and I saw some of these die-cast cars. There's various brands, but it reminded me of my childhood. And at the time, I was kind of looking for something to fill time that would bring me enjoyment. So I picked up a couple of these diecast cars, and I liked it. And I don't even remember, and maybe you guys, since you're a little more tech savvy, I don't know what the internet's status was back in 98, 97. I do remember eventually going on the internet, and part of this helped me collect and finding other people that found joy in this, that I guess filled a piece in their life. And I really enjoyed it, and I got to talk to other people about it, and it kind of grew up from there. So that's how kind of it started.
I like how it's kind of twofold in a sense, wherein we begin to collect items. I guess when I'm thinking about like my childhood too, like our I want to say like maybe our parents like kind of helped quote unquote, but like they begin to buy things for you, like stuff that you find interesting, and like what you said, there is a bit of that nostalgia factor when you found those items. And what I also found interesting, like you weren't alone, like you found other people, right, who shared your interest in these die cast cars. And so what started from, what'd you say, like 2, 3?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Then
2 or 3, and then I, just like you said, your parents help you along, and then at the time, I was like, I had these when I was a kid. As you're, at the time, I already have a job. I'm growing up, and I'm like, my mom's still living in the house where I grew up. Hey, mom, do I have any of these left? And I did have a few left. So again, you're right back to your parents helped you, and then that brings back memories, and it kind of gives you joy finding that, and then it just kind of blew up from there.
I kind of have like a question for you, Paul. Like, do
Sure.
you remember? Because you did say like you collect diecast cars. So, do you know like the make and model of like the first, like what you would consider as like the first like diecast car in your collection?
Yeah. Well, that's twofold. I would say my first one was back when I was a kid. So my parents, probably was a gift, a birthday gift or something like that. And I've always been into cars. My mom says that was my first word. So I have to go by what she says. So I've always been into cars that way. And probably, I could tell you probably it was a Hot Wheels car. They started in 1968. So it would probably be the early 70s. The other half of that question is when I rediscovered them, probably around 97, 98, I saw a car and it looked very interesting to me. It was in a store and I was like, oh, I remember these. And this one looks a little different. And just just to throw it out there, it was a Mazda Miata that looked different. And I said, hey, some of these are different than others. And some of these are rather interesting. And that's what kind of started it.
Because I collect some stuff too, and you never forget the first thing that like you kind of like buy that kind of made you think, yeah, I think I'm gonna start collecting these. Like I know the experience of seeing it on the store and going like, I want to buy that, and like once you have it in your hand, you're like, you know what? Like I kind of want to start collecting.
Yeah. Exactly.
I was gonna say, while you guys were talking, I was looking through our YouTube live chat and saw what others, how others' journeys in collecting began, and I shared a couple, a couple of laughs with those I saw in our live chat. I think there was one from user WC2024. We both have the same love of Japanese card slash anime. That what's the word now? I can't think of the name. Brand. I guess we could call it just that. But everyone knows what that is. Very popular, and it's still going on to this day. And I think I want to say around the same time, like 96, 97, 98 was when it first started.
You can say it, Abe. We're not promoting them anyway. You can just say it, so you're not having a hard time.
Okay, I'm sure. I want to see all in caps in our chat, but yeah, the Pokemon cards. I mean, because there's other ones too, right? There's Digimon and other monsters. I guess.
I mean, I
in
used to
Japanese
collect like
translation.
Yu-Gi-Oh cards when I was a kid. I had
Yeah,
a
that
stack
too.
like this tall, like a really tall stack. Because
And
we
it's
just
so
enjoyed
good.
looking at them.
Yeah, and I there is a bit of the another way to give thanks to our parents. Thank you for not throwing them away. I guess when you move out, like you still have like when I'm sure when you asked like your parents, oh, do you still have these? And then they're like, oh yeah, here they are in the attic or in storage or somewhere, right? And like nice, kept safe in a box and like almost maybe pristine condition, I guess, maybe as you left it.
Wish.
uh all the memories. So but let's try to move forward a little bit. But I guess in a way, as you know, with the die cast cars like Hot Wheels or like these card collections, they continue to grow. We may find, there are certain ones that have become more rare, more valuable, and I guess in a hunt to try to have it for yourself. Um, just curious, do you have? Well, hopefully we all do, but what is our limit to know what to collect? Do you budget when it comes to your collecting?
I do. I
Right.
do. I since it's been so long, and I'm guessing that it carries over to other collectors. But when I first started collecting, maybe this is normal or not, but you kind of like, something new would come out. Say a new version of those cards, or a new shipment of these die-cast cars. They're like, oh, I have to get all those new ones. I have to get them. I have to get them. And after a while, you're kind of like, oh man, I got all these now. I like to look at them, but they aren't, that valuable, or they're just kind of stacking up and they're getting stored. And I've kind of come out with a creed, and I've said it to other collectors that it's kind of like quality over quantity. So that's kind of my creed now, and I'll look and I'll see and and then you can even take it as far as a budget goes, that you say, oh well, that's a really rare one, or that's one coming up that I really want, and I'll save up for it, something like that, because sometimes it's not just a random find. Sometimes it's something, oh well, that's a special edition and it's going to cost me more, but I'll save up for it, something like that. So that's how I look at it. I look at it quality over quantity, and saving up for them, and and then setting a budget. And I just don't do the go and find everything new anymore. It's maybe it's a new collector thing, I don't know, but I do have a budget set for that.
Okay. So I was gonna say, in addition to that, because I know at least for me, I do kind of get drawn to, if I know like the extent of like how big a collection is, I might lean toward, completing a set first before, you know, leaning towards something a bit more uh valuable or more rare or like of higher quality, like what you mentioned. Is that how I guess that is how you gauge what you decide what to get next? Is that the right way I'm
Oh yeah.
thinking of it? Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And also it's nice, even if it's not, like you said, or like I said, it's not like it's an expensive one, or you have to
Mhm.
save up for it. But I'm sure most collectibles, they're smart. They'll put out a set, and it's like, oh, this is the set of 10 that go, they're here, and then that gives you a incentive to say, oh, I'm going to find those, and I want to have this set. And then once you get the set, then you could display it. I've done that, and it brings me joy. I keep going back to that, but it's what I like to see, and I like to find that. And you can say, hey, and it's kind of a humble brag with collectors. So, hey, I've got the whole set of these. Do you have that? Yeah, I got that. I'm looking for that one. I wish I could get them like you had them. Things like that.
I was gonna say that I do like what you said about like, and it's cool that you keep repeating it. Like, this collecting, in a sense, does bring you joy. Like, to kind of expand, maybe, to do like cross media, in a sense, cross medium, like the expanse of collecting, at least nowadays, to what I see more common, goes into the realm of albums, and especially in K-pop, where they give, the collectibles of uh photo cards, so to speak. And so there is also that joy of completing a set or finding one that you really, really like. And amongst my friends, I know we all, like share what we were able to buy with, or what we were able to get with an album. And then friends do get jealous at times, right? If you get to pull something that the other person wanted. But sharing that experience with others, finding the joy in the things you do collect. I guess among these things and others, what makes collecting so enjoyable for you?
Well, let me see. I would say it, some of the things we've already mentioned. Um, the joy of completion of a series, like we just kind of mentioned, to be very specific. Um, it's nice to make friends too, and we haven't really mentioned that, but going with the advent of the internet, going online and comparing and finding friends that also collect. And not only that, but having new people come in and start asking questions. I find a lot of joy in answering questions for people because I've been in it so long. And there's also ones where sometimes, with diecast cards, you're talking about kids' toys. They're made for kids, but they're also, they know that the adult collectors are out there. But then you read a comment about a father that is started collecting with his son, and his son is so excited about it. And then sometimes they'll say, "Hey, anybody want to trade?" Because there's also this trading thing. My son really likes this certain diecast, and maybe it's one that's popular and not easy to find. And people will step up. I have in the past and say, "Oh, just PM me your address. I'll send it to your son and see his reaction when he gets it." So that's another kind of joyful thing you get when you're collecting with a younger collector or somebody new, and they get this, and you can hear the joy when they respond and things like that. So that's another cool thing, is finding friends like that, especially online with the internet now.
Well,
It's like a core memory for the child too, right? Like when they kind of like grew up, they're like, I used to collect like diecast cars with my dad, and I remember one time like he really looked for like this car that I like. Like they're gonna remember that.
That's true.
I'm seeing some smiles in the panel. It's so sad you guys can't see it, but
Very sentimental. I didn't even think about that aspect. Excuse me. Like just being able to make connections that you're collecting. Like I'm sure, did you ever were there any conventions or like conferences that you went to, Paul? Or is there stuff like that for the diecast?
They have them. They have them locally. They have national ones. I've never been to a national one. It's kind of a little high end for me. But they have local, what they call shows. And that's another like face-to-face kind of thing where you can make friends too. And it's been a while since I went to one, but they're all around in the local area. Will have them all the time. And normally they call them toy shows, I think, in my realm of collecting. So you're talking about your cards, you're talking about the diecast cars, different things like that. So it's not just, sometimes it's not even just one thing, which is really cool to do. So that's another way to meet other collectors, make friends, things like that.
Would you say then, as we prepare for the next segment, would you say that is a tip that you would give to new collectors, is to establish those connections early so that you can already start to grow your collection? I assume that's a really quick way to do so. If that's a tip that you have, or any other tips that you want to give to new collectors.
Yeah, that is a really good way, is the way this diecast cars work, and I think the cards are the same way in a lot of things. They're kind of readily available at all kinds of different places you can buy things. And that's normally what people do, is they'll join a group. Like I'm in a couple of groups on Facebook, and they will say, "Hey, I just found these cars. I remember when I was a kid. You guys give me any tips?" So they'll ask for tips. And a lot of people will say, if you want enjoyment, sometimes it comes off as a senior type collector that's been done it a while. Well, get what you like. Don't try and look for one. Oh, is this one worth a lot of money? Like, can I resell it? And a lot of people just say, you know what? If you enjoy it and get what you like and you like to display it, then get the whole set or this. And if you like these, you'll like these. And then that's how they go along with it. That's what a lot of people give tips to new collectors, is get what you like. And if you enjoy it, keep going.
Love it. Now I'm looking forward to see what else I can grow my collections with. But that's a story for another time. But we're gonna actually take a look possibly at your collection in a bit more depth with our next segment, which is called, once again, Lock In. Okay, so I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Paul, you have some of your collection with you at the moment.
Yes.
Okay, so I think how we're gonna play, the three of us, me, Elsom, and Tony, we're gonna try to figure out if we can tell possibly the differences between common pieces in your collection or ones that are a bit more rare.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I'm already like prefacing it. I don't think, especially in the area of diecast cars, that I'm not gonna do too well. But let's see among the three of us how we're gonna do. So let's. I think if you have your first one
Okay.
ready, let's take a
Sure.
look and see.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what we'll do is, even if you can't guess it, I'll give you a little story behind it or something really quick.
Okay.
About it. Okay. So let me show you one here.
Oh.
This is interesting because it's called
It's
hot
a
Wait, I can't
wings.
read.
Hot
fast
wings.
foodie.
That's what it is they made like a bottle of hot sauce into a car.
Oh.
So,
Whoa.
and this is new for 2025.
Oh, it's a ooh.
The new
I
one.
would say that kind of like because that kind of feels like a limit that it would be a limited edition.
True.
Like it would have like kind of like a limited run. So I'm gonna go with rare.
Okay.
I want to say that too, but like I almost want to feel like, since it's like fast food and like everything like going into the realm of like fast food with different things now too. So I'm like, maybe it's a common thing that they're gonna keep, creating over and over. But I think,
I mean, like, but this one in particular.
yeah, but my
like,
gut's telling me like it's probably like limited too. So I'm gonna say rare.
Okay.
Tony.
I want to be fun and go the opposite.
Yeah,
Because-
okay. So she's gonna go common.
because I guess the only excuse me, the only other reasoning that I could think of is that it's just like a fun one that they decided to release that's accessible, maybe.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
The answer.
We're gonna say Tony's right
Knew it.
Oh, it's common.
because what it is they like I said, they are made for kids, and they've been making these kind of fun ones. They make them out of donuts. They have one made out of a sushi. So they do have some fun ones out there. They even have the latest one that's popular is. Do you ever see the Lucky Cat in the Chinese restaurants that does?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They have that as a Hot Wheel now. So
Oh.
I haven't found it yet. Okay, let's move on.
Okay, next one. Let's see what
Here's
number
one.
two.
Now this one is kind of branded, and it's in the store you can get it at.
Convenience store, yeah.
Yeah,
Convenience store brand.
well, it's at that store. That's where you can get it.
Uh-huh.
And it's also, and I'm trying to make it a little easy for you. It's also a very popular model. Being a lot of Asians this is a Toyota Supra, which is a very popular car even in real life.
Yeah.
So this was only available at 7-Elevens.
Okay.
that's I feel like that's that giveaway. Like
Yeah.
like it's only available in like that store. I would say rare. I would say rare.
I was gonna say that too, rare, but like I almost wanted to step it up and say you could only buy it not only at the store, but in a specific country. I don't know why, but like that's how limited I feel it is. I could be wrong, but I'm still going rare. But I don't know if my reasoning is just off.
I want to read the chat because they're also in on the rare or not rare. Joanna said rare. Aleli, Abe's mom, said not rare. And then user MIEM316, that's rare right there. And there's just a lot of like surprise reactions, I guess, because it's a Supra. Everyone always freaks out whenever there's a Supra. So I want to say rare just because, not because of the 7-Eleven part, but because it's a Supra.
Okay. All right. Well, all you guys are right. This is pretty rare because of both being only at 7-Eleven because it's a Supra.
Okay.
Everybody picks up the Supras. It's a very popular. So I don't want to take too much time. I'm kind of going to jump ahead here.
Okay.
I'm going to go with some loose cars. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now here's one This is an old one.
Oh,
Okay.
I was gonna
This is an
say, Common, we took it out of the box.
yeah, these are out of the box though. This is an old one, and I'll just put an explanation with it. You can guess, but this is a Datsun 280Z. I'm going to tell you right now, since it has the red lines on the tires, this means it's a very specific era. This is the only wheel they used right from the beginning. Goes through about 1975. So this is a very old car.
Yeah.
However, what do you think? They did have common cars back then, and they did have rare cars back then.
I would say now that's rare, especially because when they make I know when they make changes to, like, let's say, like, models, like when they make changes, like, and the old model becomes discontinued, then that old model becomes rare because you can't buy them in stores anymore. Like, you can only buy them from, like, other people.
That's true.
Like,
that's true.
So I'm gonna go with rare. I'm gonna go with rare for this one.
Ooh, I'm tempted to go rare too, but like aside from the wheel, I wonder if like there's certain other qualities about it that make it rare. Maybe like the type of material. I don't know. It could be like a certain like paint job that's rare about it.
Okay. I think you're on the right track.
Oh, okay. It's Tony. What's your thoughts?
I'm gonna read the chat real quick.
Okay.
Noah says not rare. I thought I saw Alma says rare. So everyone is like split every time. They're always like it's really hard. I want to say because this is my thing, because you said that the line was just for a specific era, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there wasn't a lot of them that was made.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So I want to say not rare.
Okay. This is kind of a trick question on this one. You are right that this era, obviously you can't get them anymore. So a lot of the cars, even though they made probably hundreds of thousands or millions of them, they're still hard to find. Okay. Now this was a trick question because this car is white. They made the regular version, which is not rare, was silver.
Oh my God, I was rare.
So technically, this is the rare version because it only came in a race set. And now here's some trivia and a trick question. Also, this car, if it was an original one, is worth about $1,600. But this is somebody restored this.
Oh,
okay. So
white, and I just thought it was cool, and you can get it for a lot less.
Because it's been modified.
Yeah, they painted it and put these reproduction decals on it. That was kind of a trick question. Ooh. So I don't want. Do we have time for one more? I just wanted to give a little trivia here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This one, I don't know if we don't have to guess anymore. If you want to guess, you can. But this one is for like 1970, and it's a dune buggy, and you can see it still has the original type wheels on it. This is all original. And I will say, let me preface with this. Okay. When it comes to the originals, it's all about color and condition because they made the same car in a lot of different colors, and people only want certain colors. Okay. So what do you think about this color?
That color, I feel like it's kind of like a shiny, like purpley. At least from like what I'm seeing.
Hot pink. When did you say that was?
This is like 1970, 1971, maybe.
I want to say rare. Like my instincts are telling me it's rare.
Okay.
Like I don't know. Part of me wants to say it's actually common because I kind of feel like that color was popular around that time. I could be wrong. Okay. I mean, I don't know. Something's just telling me like that was just a time of like brighter like colors, like the
neon
colors, neon and things like that. So maybe I'm gonna go common on that one.
Okay.
I'm gonna just throw out a color because you gave an alternate color last time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say like the blue version of that one is more rare than that one.
Okay. Okay. This one, this is actually a rare color. So, and the reason it is, this is another kind of a very interesting thing. Back in the early 70s when they first came out, they made them in these, they call it spectra flame colors, a very bright metallic color to make, they were very noticeable for people to buy them when they first came out. And they made them in pink. They made them in other colors. And the little boys did not want a pink car. That's for girls. So back then, nobody wanted this. As time went by,
those became
we
rare.
had them. So now this is the rare color.
Hey, that's cool.
Interesting.
So I probably know way too much about those. So
See, that's what I mean. Like when items get discontinued, they become
exactly
rare. You can't get them at stores.
Exactly. And I know even in that world, there's been times where they made a car and they made a little part that comes off, and they're for kids. And if that part comes off, a kid could swallow it. So immediately they pull that car, don't make it anymore. It instantly becomes something the collectors want. I don't know if that pans over to any like card, or it wouldn't be cards, but maybe figurines. Let's say,
well, like when designs
change,
like
action figure. We didn't even talk about that, but like Star Wars, whatever.
I mean, we could definitely do like a part 2 of like collections, right? But we are running out of time. So again, I want to thank you, Paul, for joining us, for showing us your collection, and for sharing those fun facts with us. And I do hope like everyone in live chat has enjoyed as well. But before we do, and we want to say our thank you to the people who make our show possible. First off, to our district ministers here in Great Lakes, Brother Arthur P. Agaga, our assistant district minister, and Brother Elmer A. Sarmiento, our district minister. We want to say special thanks as well to Brother Wally Taray, our INC radio station manager, and to Brother Angelo Iranio Vimanalo, our deputy executive minister, and most importantly, a very special thank you to Brother Eduardo Vimanalo, our executive minister. Thank you for making our show like this possible. And for everyone out there, remember that in your zone is where you shine the brightest. So we'll see you guys again next week. Hope you have a great weekend. Goodbye. Oh, where's Abe?
I'm still here.
Where is he?
I'm just